Hello, Ash, once again, your witch doctor, and today we're going to talk about Judy. This is Judy from our group, here in the photo that you see, and Judy's got a bunch of things going on, but I'm going to get right to it and try to keep these videos down in time because they're getting awful long. Judy's not going to be easy because there's 5 things that I see with Judy here today. I'm going to start with the obvious and go from top to bottom. And from the top, we're going to blow this up a little bit. Well, there we are. We're going to blow it up, and we can see that we've got some heavy metal toxicity or intolerance. It can be either. The fine lines in the forehead that you're seeing here are not actually, they're quite deep lines. In this case, you can see how you've got your recessed lines, but you've got a puffiness over them. You can see people with lines in their foreheads, but when you see that puffiness, that really indicates that you do have a heavy metal issue. I'm going to blow up a little more and just show the extent. She has very serious adrenal fatigue, which you can see right here in her eyes. So those are the ones that I talk about in just about every video because so many people have it. So I'm not going to get much into the adrenal fatigue and the heavy metals, but since I have it opened up here to her eyes, you can see there's a collection of water in and around her eyes. This is indicative of a NAT-MEUR deficiency. NAT-MEUR is actually sodium chloride. Yes, sodium chloride, just like you think of table salt. But if somebody had a kidney issue and we're going to take NAT-MEUR, it would not reflect in the pathology, the blood pathology, if it were done at their doctor's office. It will not raise your sodium levels in your blood. NAT-MEUR is specific to the cells of the body, and it is used to regulate or properly distribute water throughout the body. You can see by her eyes here in the collection of water, as you see up here and here and all over, that her body is not distributing water properly at all. And in order to get this off her eyes, we're going to have to get her on some NAT-MEUR, and she might need a little extra dosage because that's quite a severe case. And I do like to show severe cases because for you guys, it helps you to understand. It doesn't have to be this bad, to this extent, in order for it to be an issue. This is just a bit of an exaggerated issue that will help you understand and see it. So if you look, you'll see the swelling, the redness, the puffiness, and you can see how it's. I'm trying to show with my hand, I'm sorry, instead of the mouse. You can see how it's actually almost folding over. This is a collection of water. You can see some darkness and some discoloration at times. It's nothing to do with this because of the puffiness, and you can see that it's swelling. And if you touch that, you will actually feel the water underneath. NAT-MEUR should take care of that for her. Again, before I get into the other one, I want to say again, look at the eyes on Judy here. You can see that they're not perfectly aligned. And again, this is a very common one, so we're going to go down. We've got our lines here that are showing that she's. You can even see some indications of actual stretch marks right here. See if I can blow that up, and it's not going to. There's a bit of what appears to be some stretch marks in the area of the thyroid. This is from inflammation of the thyroid. Judy obviously has a thyroid problem going on. So again, something that I talk about between 80 and 85% of women in North America all have thyroid issues. You can go to your doctor 10 times to have your thyroid checked. One of the 10 times it'll actually show in your blood pathology. I also believe that the okay limits, or the safe limits that are considered okay, the range that's given when they test your thyroid, I believe it's extended too far, that it needs to be brought down. so many women, especially in North America, have thyroid issues. Once you look and you see it, one crossed eye, you look down the neck, you'll see it. It's the same thing with the adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is noted to be present in about 85% of the world's population. So these are things that are so common. You're going to see it in every video. But for this one, she's got the common North American woman thyroid. She has the heavy metals issues. She has the adrenal. We talked about the NAT/MUIR, but now the last thing, phosphate. For Judy here, where to start with her? You can see that her skin, there's a discoloration of her skin, and it's almost grayish. When you start seeing gray skin, a grayish tinge to the skin, you can start looking at calcium phosphate. But there's also lip staining. I'm going to blow up her mouth here for you. And you can see right along this edge, she has a staining outside of the edge of the lips. Outside of the edge of the lips. This also tells a story of a calcium phosphate deficiency. But one last thing that will also help point in the right direction, again, as I talk about in other videos, when I'm doing a facial analysis through a photograph, a digital photo, I always look for at least three things. In reality, in real life, I would look for far more, but I can't talk about constitution, or I won't know the constitution of the person, their personality. I won't get to see how they behave and act. So when it comes to real life, I look for about 10, a minimum of 10 indications of a deficiency. So again, in the videos, three, and I believe that there will be a deficiency there. Along the sides of her eyes, it's going to be hard to tell because the excess water, but I'm just going to bring this down and blow it up a bit. There does appear to be sunken temples here and here as well, which are also, oops, I'm going outside of the frame of what I have here, which is also calcium phosphate, calcium phosphate or potassium phosphate. I'm willing to bet that Judy here has a few behavioral issues too. Sorry, Judy, but when there's a potassium phosphate deficiency, there's a lot of phosphates are the food for the brain. It's pure brain food. Whenever you look at phosphates, when somebody is deficient in a phosphate, there's normally a behavioral pattern that also follows with it, which would be really helpful if I actually were able to do a video conference, or actually had her here in front of me to talk with her, and I'd be able to see her and see if she had some indifference issues of not being able to look you in the eye. I don't know if that's the particular case with her, and to be honest, off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember if that is one for the potassium phosphate in particular, but she definitely has a calcium phosphate potassium phosphate deficiency. It's without question. So for Judy, just to summarize, we know that she has heavy metals toxicity. We saw the adrenal fatigue. We saw the thyroid. These are the common ones. Yes, they are there. NAT/MUIR to distribute water, to try to remove some of the water from around her eyes. We might have to go with something a little more NAT/PHOS even. Might be helpful to her as well. I believe that I've already have her on NAT/MUIR trying to distribute that water properly. We might. I'm not sure how well she's doing with it. I haven't spoken to her about it much, so we might want to switch to NAT/PHOS, which will actually acts as a diuretic and actually bring that water off of the body, and not just distribute it, but to draw it out. So we've got our NAT/MUIR as well. Lastly, the calcium phosphate, the sunken temples, the lip staining, the brown coloring around the lip, which is also can tell a story of a liver, but it's not yellow, it's brown. So you want to try to remember to differentiate the two. There is one last thing that I am going to talk about here, and I'll tell you, it's hard to tell with Judy here, because Judy has a lot going on around her eyes. But I can tell you for sure that Judy is anemic. And I'll tell you how I know that. You can see the pale and multiple colors within her lips. Her lips are mainly pale, with the spotting or discoloration of some darker reds. That tells the story of anemia. That's one of the two things that you really want to look for in anemia are the darkness under the eyes. Of course she has it, but she also has other issues as well. If you look closely, you'll see the redness coming off the nostrils. It's kind of hard to see. I'm actually sitting in my office with the sun blaring in my window, so it's even harder for me to see, but I can see it. The redness that's coming from the nostrils, and because there's so much going on here, it's kind of hard to tell. But I'm willing to bet that if you take the water away from her eyes, you're going to see the dark circles that completely engulf her lower eyelids. Which again, you're looking at anemia. I am positive that Judy does have that. So we've got calcium phosphate, we have anemia, and we natmur, natphos, one of the sodiums, the natrum is sodium. So one of the sodiums is going to take care of her eye issue. We have her on some natmur right now, and I do believe that's going to do a lot for her. But because I haven't heard from her, normally you hear them jumping up and down and screaming how great it's working for them. Because I haven't heard it from her yet, I'm believing that it's possible that she may have to go to some natphos as well. But that's Judy for today, folks. Thanks for listening one more time. We'll see you in the Facebook group. Bye-bye.